Have you wanted to move your Guild Wars 2 UI around, move your boons, move your effects, whichever you want, in order to make it a bit clearer and for you to be able to play the game more comfortably? Well, this is exactly what this new add-on does. Reeffect will allow you to put any effect that you want that appears on screen in a different place, with a different color, with a different size, and of course doing different stacks and durations as well. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support me, and of course go into the links of the people that did this, especially Nexus, in order to support them as well. Let's get into it. So what can this add-on do? As you can see here on the screen, we have a little quickness icon, and I set it up so it only shows that if I don't have quickness. So as soon as I get quickness, I'm in chrono, it'll disappear. Super cool. And you can apply this with any sort of boon or effect on your character. Traits, buffs, protocols, whatever. You can also do it the other way around, and we're gonna go through all the possibilities that you actually can have. But for example, I have it on Might as well. And when I get Might, it'll appear right here, and it'll show me the stacks and the duration of it as well. As you can put it wherever in the screen, wherever you want, and it's super useful. As I said, you can use this for almost anything in the game. You're gonna have to test it out yourself, but you know, items, well, no, I guess not items, but any effect, any trait that triggers buffs, experience buffs, item boosters, all these things can be put inside of it, which I think is very cool. Because honestly, it is kind of hard to see all the things, you know, that are happening on your bar, like your boons and everything, like all of them moving around randomly. It's annoying, and this makes it a bit easier for people to see how it actually works, and you know, where the actual icons are, keeping track of your boons, keeping track of your conditions, everything. So I think it's a very good tool to, one, learn the game better, to pay attention to things that are very important, and have a bit more of visual clarity on your character. You can also make it so these little icons here don't have to be the boons that they show there. It could be anything you want. It could be like an anime character, you could be your face, you could be someone's face, whatever you want. Obviously, you're the only one who says this, so you can customize it how you want. So you can even change colors, and we'll definitely go in there later on to see how you can do all of those things and all the possibilities from this add-on. It almost looks like Guild Wars 2 Clarity. It's more or less the same. If you have seen my videos before, and you have seen the video that I have on Guild Wars 2 Clarity, you'll see that it's, well, the idea is pretty similar. You put the little effects wherever you want in the screen, and they will pulse, and they'll tell you how much duration they have. The problem is that Guild Wars 2 Clarity has a little bit of some issues. First of all, they don't really show stacks. They don't show the duration either. And it's super cumbersome to actually install. Like the guide that I did, it was fine, but I have a lot of people, you know, complaining about how it doesn't work for them, and you have to, if you know, as soon as it there's an update, it just breaks. It's super cumbersome, super annoying. And this one is way easier to actually install and make it work, and update as well. It's just from Nexus. I'll leave in the description down below how to install. Nexus is very easy regardless. You just go in here, go to add-ons. Essentially, you just put the DLLs on your folder, and then you can just disable it here. Enable it whenever you want, and you can update it as well. It's super easy. I'll tell you how to install it later, but I want to go inside and see how it actually works first, and what are the differences between this and Guild Wars 2 Clarity. Why should you install this one, other than the fact that it's super easy to install? First of all, they have a bit of a better policy in terms of the way that they actually go not against TOS, because technically what this add-on is doing is against the terms of service. They are reading memory, the same amount that something like Arc DPS would do, but they're doing it anyways. But in the information policy, they say essentially, and you can read it on your own, but they essentially say, hey, the only thing we're doing here is getting the information that you can look as a player with your own eyes, the duration, the stacks, and just moving it somewhere else. We're not really, yeah, we are reading the memory, right? But we're only reading the memory that you would, as a user, already know. We're not revealing any memory that is hidden. And you can see this in the limitations, and we'll talk about it later. But yeah, it essentially they have limited it enough so it only shows the exact information that you can see, so it's not against TOS, not at least morally. I don't think that ArenaNet would care anyways, as they didn't do anything against Guild Wars 2 Clarity, but I think it is good that they have an information policy here to show that this is not a problem. Now, you can see here that they also have limitations. You cannot use it in competitive modes like PvP and Warpers World, as it would be an advantage. Now, I personally don't really agree with this, because I think it's super annoying to play, although without it. And honestly, PvP and War World should have this, so it's easier to understand and play. But it is against the TOS, and until ArenaNet says anything, you can't go for it, right? Except for boons and conditions that do show their exact durations, as you can see here when I press quickness. Actually, give me something else. Might. I want to see might. Yeah, so if you can see here, might, you will see that you'll get a lot of duration here. It'll tell you the duration, 12 seconds. But you can see the little thingy there going down, and it'll show you here in the bottom as well. And this is because, like, Guild Wars 2 Clarity did not have this. It would just have, like, a little, like, as soon as it would get very low, it would start, like, pulsing. With this, it will just tell you exactly the duration with the little borders slowly going down, which is way easier to see, and you can see also the stacks, which is also very important and very, very useful. They say that this does work on boons and conditions, but does not affect other effects, because they do not show duration after 5 seconds, right? The only way to see this is if you actually hover over it. For example, Deadly Blades is another a trait that you take on Virtuoso. If you use it right now, and then F3, you can see that I get Deadly Blades, and it's right now, it's not telling me how long it is, but as soon as it goes to 5 seconds, because it starts pulsing on the bottom, it will start getting, you know, the little countdown there, which is super, super useful, and it's exactly the type of information that we can see, but it's hard to see. So it's very, very useful. Something that Clarity could not do other than just start pulsing. You will not have a good information exactly the moment that it's going to stop. Not to stack count for duration stacking effects. So there's also information if you know, the effect does not show the number unless you hover over it, it will not tell you, which is honestly fair considering what they are stated here in the policy. No information about effects hidden from the player, as well, very important. If it's hidden, it shouldn't be displayed, it will be cheating. And the last one here says, no combining logic for multiple effects outside of grouping them into a single UI element. And what does this mean? It was kind of confusing to me too. I actually have to talk to the creator of the add-on, so I had an idea what he meant. And what he means is that you can't be like, okay, in this scenario, my character does not have quickness, but it has might. So therefore, this ability that is faster, because I don't have quickness, might be better to use instead of this other one. You can't combine this kind of information that the add-on displays to make this kind of decisions for you, otherwise you just become like a rotation creator, right? So this is the kind of thing that is trying to say, like, you cannot do this with this add-on, that, you know, obviously doing this would be against the TOS in the first place. Now, which one should you pick? Guild Wars 2 Clarity or Guild Wars 2, well, Reeffect? Honestly, in both are very, very good. I think Reflex has way more of an interesting, you know, you can do more stuff with it. You can have more possibilities on how to display your boons and each one you want. But Guild Wars 2 Clarity has all of them instantly. Like, you can actually get, well, let me just go into my video. You can actually get a little bit of a list of all the types of, spells that you want to have, right? You don't have to go to the wiki and put the ID, you can just click it in there. But that means also that there's certain buffs that you will not be able to get even if you wanted to, because they'll be not updated. And also the fact that you can, yeah, and also, like, yeah, it's kind of more annoying to do it in this way, right? With this add-on, I guess. But it seems to be more updated. It seems like it's gonna be more updated because Guild Wars 2 Clarity doesn't really update it too much. And also, yeah, it's gonna be annoying to, like, make your own packs or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that soon everyone's gonna be using this. They're gonna be, and you're gonna be able to download the packs of these people, which will make it, you know, hey, you know, you won't have to do anything. You can just pick up the pack of someone else, the setup of someone else, and then customize it in your own way, which I think is probably the thing that you would want in the first place. So overall, it seems like this is way better of an add-on than Guild Wars 2 Clarity because of its accessibility, the features it has, and of course also the fact that it's going to be updated a bit more than the actual Guild Wars 2 Clarity. But we'll definitely see. You can install both and see which one you like most, and if ever, you know, Reeffect doesn't do as much as Guild Wars 2 Clarity, you can go to Guild Wars 2 Clarity and so forth, and you can just do whatever you want at the end of the day. So honestly, I wouldn't worry too much. It is very nice to have competition in terms of add-ons, especially when this is one of them that really affects the game, and, you know, and it can help us a lot. Now, how do you actually start using it? Well, actually, let's go for the how to install it. It's super, super easy. Just go inside of here. You go to the install. Well, you have to install Nexus, and I'll leave a video in the description down below on how to do that. But then you download Reeffect.dll and Reeffect internal DLL here. You get both DLLs, and you post this one in your Guild Wars 2 folder on addons. You just go to addons and you post it right here. You can see it, Reeffect.dll, and the other one, the Reeffect.dll internal.dll, you put it here on the folder where your Guild Wars 2 AXE is. There you go, then that's perfect. Then you go to your Nexus, you press here, you go to addons, then you put here on load. You have to restart the game, and then you're done. Now, how do you actually access it? You go to options, and this is probably one of my biggest complaints. Is like it kind of sucks to go in here, options, and then addons, and then Reeffect alpha and whatever. It's kind of annoying, but I'm sure they'll fix that. It is alpha after all, and that's why I think it's very important for you guys to give us as much feedback as we can, so they actually are able to make this whole thing better. Now, you can actually load someone else's packs, and I probably will make one, maybe in another video, or maybe I'll leave a link in the description. I don't know, we'll see. And you can use this for you just load someone else's pack, right? And you're done, right? But you can also create your own new pack. You just press new pack, and it'll tell you, oh, save it as you want, and you can just put the name, my pack, I'm Darren's or whatever. Now, I'm not gonna do that because I already have mine, which is called Darren's meme, but you know, there you go. And then you have your pack. Now, in order to start using it, you know, you can see that you can move this around. Like, I already have my things here, but you can move them all around, all of them, with no issues. You can make the opacity a bit bigger or a bit smaller. You can anchor it to the top left, to the center, to right, or to a different place, so it's a bit easier to see or to start with. I put it on the center because that's what I like. And you can then start adding stuff. Now, here you can create a group, icon, list, and text. Now, group is just a group of things, right? You can just click it here, and you can see that I have a group of these two things, database and a list, because I wanted to just... Oh, actually, no, that's my bad. I have two icons here. There we go. I'm just gonna make them opacity. I'm gonna make the opacity a bit bigger, so you can see. I have two icons that if I move them around, they will move, right? On the group, they start moving, right? If you want to pair some things up with each other, you can definitely do this. Now, it doesn't seem like you can, for example, move this icon into the group, which is very annoying, and I don't think it's very good. But I'm sure that they'll fix that eventually. Now, after that, you also have your lists. Let me just disable this one so it's not annoying. You also have your lists, which are essentially a pair, same thing as a group, but they're, instead of having like this kind of like drop down, you have the list inside of here. You can put your icons here, and you can create whichever thing you want on it. You can add another icon, and so on, and so forth and so forth. Now, how do the icons work themselves? The icons are, well, I have my quickness icon, and I have it tied up to the quickness ability. And how did I do this? Well, first of all, I went here to the icon thing. You can see the size, the position, the opacity, but then you have to go to effect, and then here you can get non-single, so one effect, or any of. So, hey, if I have quickness, or I have this other effect on this other effect, this will trigger, right? Now, for me, in this one, I just want the quickness effect, and what I did is I went to the wiki, Guild Wars 2 wiki, go to quickness, and if you go hover over the game link, it'll tell you a number, 1187. This is the code for the quickness spell, I guess, for the boon. So you want to put, wait, 1187, right? That was the one? Yeah, 1187, there you go. And I thought I put the wrong one. And then you can see that quickness is gonna be there. Now you can actually decide on when this will show. This will show when it's present, so when I get quickness, this appears. You can put it so when it's missing, so hey, it's missing. This will not. This will be here, and the only way to get rid of it is by actually using quickness. You can see it right here. Let me just go to Here we go. It'll disappear, right? Which is super cool because sometimes you don't want your whole UI just being filled with icons, right? Depends on what your preference is. But this will prevent you to actually see how long you will have your quickness for, right? You can also make it for, if you have minimum stacks, it'll tell you. If you have max stacks, it'll tell you. And range of stacks. I guess, I don't... So if depending on this amount of stacks, it'll show you between 2 and 5 or 2 and 7 or whatever you want. Which is honestly pretty cool. A pretty good functionality there. Now... And then you want to do in order to get the actual icon, and you can use any icon you want, honestly. Now I put the quickness PNG and the way I did it, I just went here and I just click on here and I save the image to this folder that is the default folder. What you can do in order to get here is you can just go here, select, and it'll open this folder. You can just copy paste this, and whenever you're downloading it, you can just paste it here. Boom, it'll tell you, hey, this is the folder, and you just leave it there. You can also set everything up so you can do very stupid stuff. For example, I already have my thing for quickness here, and I'm gonna replace it so it doesn't have the quickness little thing there, but instead it's gonna have a cute little anime girl. Or, even better, I can make it so it has Teapot's face, okay? And I can make him say, hey, Darrens, you don't have a quickness. Look, where's the... There we go, text. You don't have quickness. Darrens? I can literally just make it say this when I don't have quickness. And move it a bit to the top. And now... And now Teapot is saying to me, hey Darrens, you don't have quickness. Fix it, dude. Why don't you have it? You need to do it. And now, wait, I will never ever forget that when I'm playing Herald, it's made it so it only happens in specs that provide quickness for everyone else. You know, it works like this, right? So it's super cool. And you will not. Oh. Yeah, so now that I don't have quickness and I'm in combat, it'll say that I don't have quickness in those particular places. So I'm just gonna give the other ones. I'm just gonna get the other. I guess I don't have Fury. There you go. So now the only thing. Oh, but I'm getting quickness. No, I can't do both. That's okay. Look at that. Boom. My quickness is gonna disappear, and then it only will say, "Hey, you don't have quickness, Darrens," and you can do it with whatever you want. So it's pretty funny. Of course, I'm gonna make a set where, you know, we don't have the memes, but if you want to put memes in your setup, you can definitely do that by just changing the picture and maybe put in some text over stuff. But there you go. For next one, what else can you do? Let's get rid of that anime girl. It's making me uncomfortable. I'm a weeb, but I'm not that much of a weeb. Let's just get rid of that, okay? There we go. Back to quickness, okay? You can actually change the color of it as well. You can go here to tint. And make the quickness a bit greener, a bit bluer, a bit redder, whatever you want, which is super cool as well. You can show the duration, you can show the stacks. Quickness doesn't have stacks, so it doesn't really matter. But if you have might, for example, and here we go. If I put might, I have it on duration and stacks. I read the same thing that I did before. It's on present, so it only shows when I have actual might. I'm gonna post as well, and at the end it will give me might, and it'll tell me, hey, it's 8 stacks. And the duration is slowly going down. Now, is there anything else? Let me just go see unnamed text. Oh, you also have text. I don't know how you would use this. Maybe you guys can find a way, but you can write whatever you want here. You can be like, I am Darrens and I am cool or something. And you can just put it here and maybe it triggers whatever. You can make it trigger whatever you want, right? In effect, you know, every time quickness you have quickness, you can just, hey, it'll say this. Or maybe you can put it like, hey, you don't have quickness, dumbass, and then you just make it so every time you don't have quickness, it'll just tell you this. Actually, let me see if I can do that. That's funny. Let me just, what is this code here? 1187. So we just go in here, affected. There you go, then, and then missing, boom, and it'll make it a bit bigger. So it just shows in the middle of the screen, and make it a bit to the top. And let's make the size huge. So you can never not have quickness. Like, I don't have quickness. Oh my god, I need to press quickness. It didn't work. Oh, it's 1187, not 1887. There you go. Now, if you do it again, it disappears. I am no longer a Domus. Oh, I'm a Domus again. Oh, I'm no longer a Domus. And then you can just do whichever you want. Okay, perfect. Okay, now, I think that is all that it lets you do. Oh, you can also make it so he has a little filter. Oh yeah, that's pretty interesting. So you can make it so this only applies in combat, out of combat, always. You can make it for any of these professions as well. Hey, I also want to know if I don't have quickness when I'm a guardian, or when I'm a mesmer, or whatever, right? So for example, if I put guardian here, it should disappear, and it does, because I'm not a guardian. You can see that you can just do the same thing for mounts. It only applies on these mounts for whatever reason you would want to. Specializations as well. Maybe I just want this in Ground Hunter. In Firebrand, because I'm a Firebrand quickness. So I only care about knowing whether I have quickness or not on Firebrand. Anything else doesn't matter. Super useful. Mounts, and also maps. If you don't know, I don't know what you would do this, but maybe there's some other. You can make this with particle effects, for example. Let's say that you are in a EOD map. Maybe you get a little thingy that if you don't have your protocols, it'll tell you, hey, go get your protocols. Right now, you're on an EOD map. Go get them. And you can just get the code for the Jade protocol effect and just go. And also, this is a very, very important point. Be careful with the code for the actual trait and the actual code of the effect. For example, if I were to push 2204 in order to get the blades, it would not work. I would have to get the effect, so I would have to click here on Deadly Blades, effect, and use this code instead. The same thing applies for Jade Protocol. If I go for Jade Protocol Offensive, here, I'm gonna have to search for the actual effect, not the random thing here. Now, I'm not sure how I get that effect. I'm gonna have to find that out, actually. Yeah, tag defensive overcharge. There we go. There it is. Or offensive overcharge. This would be the actual code that you would want in this case, right? And there you go. Now, in order to apply it to an actual map, what you would want is go to the map that you actually want. In this case, for example, let's say I'm in Divinity's Reach and I want to apply it for Divinity's Reach. You just go here and you can see the API. It says 18. That is indeed the map ID. So you just go in here and you put map IDs, add map, and then you just put 18, and it will only apply to Divinity's Reach. If I put something like 1 for the text, it will disappear. There you go. Easy peasy, right? But if I put 18, because this is map 18, it'll appear. Super cool, right? I think that is about it. I'm just gonna run with that. I think that's all the functionalities we have overall. I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else that we can use. I'll definitely make, maybe, hopefully, a little bit of a big set with all the classes and all the builds and stuff like this, all the traits. It'll be an insane thing to do, but I have time and I want that anyways for myself. So, and you can customize it as much as you want. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. Not a bad idea, actually. Regardless, it's a very cool add-on. And I really hope that they continuously do it. I think there's only one thing that really annoys me about this add-on, other than the fact that you cannot open it, is the fact that, well, you can actually also, instead of actually saving a image, you can actually go for example, quickness. Instead of file, go for the URL. The problem is if you do this, you can actually copy it. Copy paste does not work, so it will just not do anything. And I tried to type it down, and you know the whole thing, and I pressed load, and it did not work. So I'm really hoping that they fix that in some way. But until then, I guess we're gonna have to wait, and I'm sure that you guys will find other things that are not working correctly. At the end of the day, this is a new add-on. Just came out like today, I think. It's on alpha, so if there's any issues, guys, just tell them in their Discord. Just contact them. Leave in the comments down below, whatever. And you can blast and you can have fun. You can play this game in the correct manner, not with fucking this silly little tiny little gamer like icons that you can't see with your eyes. Okay, it'll be hopefully one day, and it says, man, this is actually a good feature, and we'll allow it for War vs. World and PvP, because it will be very fun. It will be very easy to understand, and I think it will be way more accessible. That being said, that's the video, guys. Definitely support the people who are developing this in the first place, and yeah, have fun with it. Tell me if you have any questions, and see you guys around. Love you all. Bye bye.